Hello everyone. Welcome to the Customer Visits and Transactions demo. As a customer representative, once the warehouse keeper has loaded the items and the gatekeeper has approved my departure, I leave the distribution center to begin my visits. I start my visits by clicking on the Start button in the Daily Operations screen. I also have the option to perform load transfers and reloads, which we will cover later on. In case of any emergency, I can return to the DC and end my day by clicking the End Day button. Now let's start the visits. This is the list of customers scheduled for today's visits, displayed in the correct sequence. I select the first customer. The card expands, revealing some of the customer's profile details. I can also check the invoice history by clicking on the History button. Next, I check the messages related to this specific customer. Upon arriving at the store, I'll start my visit by clicking the Check-in button. The Solutions geolocation feature will verify that I'm at the correct location. An additional layer is provided, which is the barcode scanning. If I'm unable to scan the barcode, I'll choose the appropriate reason from a predefined list. Here I have access to invoices, payments, and equipment management. The customer wants to order items, so I'll create their invoice. I'll click on the Create New Invoice button. First, I verify all the invoice details in the header, such as the invoice date, payment type, and due date, and then click on the Create button. There are two categories to manage. The first is sales items. The second is returns, in case the customer needs to return any item. Next, I'll add the items the customer wants by searching for the item and adjusting the quantity. I can also check for any promotions associated with an item by clicking on the View Promo button. Once I've added all the items the customer wants to order, as well as the item they wish to return, I'll click the Next to Promotions button. This takes me to the promotion screen where I can apply any eligible promotions such as Buy Get Promotion. Next, I review the discount off specific items granted to the customer. Finally, I reach the invoice summary, where all item quantities are displayed and categorized as either sales items, items granted from promotions, or returnable items. After reviewing the summary with the customer, I click the Next button to return to the operations screen. Now we need to collect the payment. The customer wishes to pay by check and banknote. First, I'll click on the Add Check Payment button. I'll fill in all the check details. Then I click on the Add button. After adding the check, I'll click the Add Banknote Payment button to enter the cash amount the customer wants to pay. After completing these steps, I'll click Next to finalize the payment and be redirected to the main screen again. I remembered that I received a message to check the assets of this customer, so I click on the Equipment card. On this page, only the number of assets within the store is displayed. The page is intentionally blank as a control, prompting the CR to actively search for and validate the assets and their locations. While searching, I found a large cooler. I will add it to the screen from the list. Then enter the asset's serial number and location. The cooler's status now shows as audited since I checked it during this visit. I click the Next button to return to the main screen. After finishing all the operations, I click on the Next button to review the summary of my visit, print the necessary reports, and verify all relevant information. Once everything is reviewed, I click on the Checkout button to check out from this customer and end the visit. In this video, we covered the key operations during customer visits, including creating invoices, collecting payments, and asset management. Thank you for watching the Customer Visits and Transactions demo. The next part, where we'll dive into additional route operations.